Penguin Random House Audio presents The Summer Pact, a novel by Emily Giffin. Read for you by Karissa Vacker, Alex Mckenna, and J.D. Jackson. This one is for Kate, my trusted assistant and treasured friend. The Summer Pact explores love and loss, touching on issues surrounding alcohol abuse, mental health, and suicide. More than 700,000 lives are lost due to suicide every year, and it is the fourth leading cause of death among 15 to 29-year-olds. Please read with care. If you or your loved ones are in distress, call the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline for free, confidential 24/7 support. Prologue. Hannah. I often wonder what makes our coming-of-age friendships so powerful. I know the usual theories, that they fill the void of adolescent loneliness, that they give us a sense of belonging, that they shape our adult identities. All these things are true, but when it comes right down to it, I think it's a simple matter of who was there by our side, bearing witness to our loss of innocence. For me, that moment came late, during the spring of my 4th year in college. As my classmates and I studied for final exams and counted down the days to graduation, emotions ran high. We were excited about the future, but weren't quite ready to part ways and face full-fledged adulthood. At least, I wasn't. I couldn't imagine life without the people who brought meaning to mine. Summer, Lainey, and Tyson, my best friends. The 4 of us had met in the basement lounge of our dorm our first year, just days after we arrived at the University of Virginia. It was a Thursday night, the kickoff to the weekend, but none of us was in the mood to go out. Summer was studying at a corner table, her face buried in the Odyssey as she furiously highlighted passages. Lainey and I sat at separate tables near her. We had books open too, but were spending more time on our phones. Tyson was kicked back on a sofa, watching a baseball game on the muted television. We were the only 4 people in the room, and for a long time, nobody spoke or made eye contact. Summer was the first to break the ice, putting her book down, standing up from her table, and walking over to the sofa. She sat down beside Tyson and asked who he was rooting for.
"The Yankees,"
he said. I watched them out of the corner of my eye, admiring Tyson's profile. With a strong jawline, high cheekbones, and flawless golden brown skin, he was decidedly handsome. "Are you from New York?" she asked.
"No, D.C., but I hate the Orioles,"
he replied matter-of-factly, not giving her much to work with. "So you're a Nats fan?"
"Sadly, yes,"
he said. "I hear you," Summer said. "I'm a Cubs fan."
"Ah, a Chicago girl,"
Tyson said. "Well, I'm from the burbs, Naperville." She smiled. "But yeah, I'm a lifelong Cubs fan."
"Well, at least you guys have won a couple titles,"
Tyson said. "Yeah, in 1907 and 1908, she laughed.
"Hey, it's better than none,"
he said.
"I'm Tyson, by the way."
"I'm Summer," she said, then looked over her shoulder at Lainey and me, repeating her introduction. "I'm Lainey, and I know nothing about baseball." Lainey's smile and energy lit up the room. "I'm Hannah," I said, feeling a wave of my usual social anxiety. "Where are you guys from?" Summer asked us. "I'm from Atlanta," I said. "Encinitas," Lainey said, "near San Diego." "Wow, that's far," Summer said. "How'd you end up at UVA?" "I needed a change of scenery, and somehow I got in." She gave us another magnetic smile, her light brown eyes sparkling. "What about you guys? Why Virginia?" Tyson cited in-state tuition. I told them my father and grandfather were both alums, and Summer said she had been recruited to run track and cross-country. Tyson looked intrigued, then promptly launched into rapid-fire questions about Summer's events and PRs. She answered modestly, but her times were incredible. As we marveled at her 4-minute, 36-second mile, Lainey quipped that she only ran when being chased.
"Do you find yourself being chased often?"
Tyson deadpanned. Oh, you'd be surprised, she said with a smirk and a toss of her long brown curls. She was clearly flirting, but it seemed more playful than strategic, and despite how pretty she was, she didn't seem full of herself. Summer went on to ask about our majors, sharing that she was pre-med. Tyson said he was debating between English literature and religion and would likely go to law school. Lainey said she was thinking about studio art or drama. Were you into theater in high school? Summer asked her. I dabbled, Lainey said, but I'd rather be a screen actor than do stage stuff. Very cool, Summer said, shifting her gaze to me. What about you, Hannah? I told her I was undecided. What do you think you might want to do? Summer pressed. Job-wise. My mind went embarrassingly blank, as it always did with this line of questioning. I don't know. Maybe interior design or something in education. Summer nodded, remarking that teaching was such an admirable profession, as I decided that I liked her. I really liked her. She had such a down-to-earth, genuine vibe, exactly the way I'd always imagined people from Illinois, and all the I-states, for that matter. She even looked wholesome, right down to her freckles and strawberry blonde pigtails. Yeah, plus I love kids, I said, thinking that what I wanted more than any career was to get married and have babies and be the kind of stay-at-home mother who bakes cookies and does crafts. But that wasn't something you could really admit, so I changed the subject, asking if they planned to rush in the spring. For me, Greek life was an absolute given. Many of my high school friends were already in the process of pledging at Georgia, Alabama, and Auburn, where rush took place before classes began. My mother was obsessed with what they were all doing and was already feverishly gathering letters of recommendation from anyone she knew who had any sort of connection to what she called the top-tier sororities at Virginia. Summer shook her head, explaining that as a student athlete, she wouldn't have time. That made sense, but I was surprised when Lainey declared that she would rather poke her eyes out with a hot stick than audition for friendship.
I feel you,
Tyson said.
My dad was an alpha and really wants me to follow in his footsteps, but I kind of want to do my own thing. We'll see.
I listened intently, intrigued by their answers. For the first time, it occurred to me that there might be an alternative path to a college social life than joining a sorority. It also crossed my mind that Summer, Lainey, and Tyson might become my people. I had this strange feeling they would be. We kept talking, covering a myriad of topics, including our families and siblings. Summer had an older brother, while Lainey, Tyson, and I were only children. Our high schools. Tyson and I had gone to small private schools, while Summer and Lainey went to large public schools. And our relationship status. We were all single. Before I knew it, it was after midnight, and we had bonded in that magical way you hope will happen when you get to college. Summer said she really needed to get to bed. She had early morning practice, so we exchanged numbers and set up a group text thread. The following night, we met for dinner, and in no time, we'd become a foursome. As organic as our friendship felt at the time, I look back now and see how unlikely it was. Beyond the utter randomness of our meeting in that lounge, we came from such different worlds. Lainey was raised by a single mother in a hipster surf town. Tyson's parents were part of the D.C. elite, his father a high-powered attorney and his mother a federal judge. Summer was the quintessential Midwesterner with a sporty apple pie family, and I was the sole Southerner, growing up saying yes ma'am and no sir, going to church on Sundays and wearing bows in my hair. Somehow we all clicked, though, like pieces of a puzzle, each of us bringing something different to the group. Tyson was the deep thinker, Lainey the free spirit, Summer our bright star and leader. I was never quite sure what my role was, and I sometimes wondered what they saw in me. I told myself that every friend group needed a cheerleader, and I had always been a good one. I took pride in that. I attended all of Summer's home meets, encouraged Lainey to pursue her love of acting, and supported Tyson's social justice efforts on campus. Incidentally, and much.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?